Hello everyone and welcome to a Farming Sim 17 tutorial. Today we are talking about pallets. So if we go over here to the shop, here's the pallets category. I will show how to use these and maybe a couple tricks along the way to help you use them a little more efficiently. We will not be looking at the saplings today. So first and foremost, let's look at the liquid fertilizer, since this really only works one way, and then we'll look at the solid ones, which are the seed, the solid fertilizer, and the pig food bag, since there's multiple ways you can use those to fill equipment and to feed your pigs. So if we look at the liquid fertilizer tank, here is the symbol for it. If we go to sprayers, that is what it uses. So I already have one of these connected to a tractor. Let's go ahead and buy a liquid fertilizer tank. All you have to do to fill your sprayer with liquid fertilizer is drive up next to it. We'll see in the controls it says refill sprayer. You hit R, it'll fill it up till it's full, and the liquid fertilizer tank has 2,000 liters in it, and you can see that right there. All of these other ones have 1,000. They're just a little smaller. So we still have a little bit left, so here's the first trick. If you want to move pallets back to your farm, if you don't want to do it one at a time, go ahead and use a trailer. That is under the baling technology right here, this Flegel. And then, if I select the correct tool, I can pick this up, and you can place a bunch of pallets on this thing, of course. And then make sure you put the straps on it, and then it'll lock it down so it doesn't fall off. You could fill up this whole thing with pallets, take them all back to your farm instead of just one at a time with the fork. So there's the first little trick. Now we don't need to look at liquid fertilizer anymore. That's about all you can do with it. So we're going to set this thing aside, and let's look at how to fill up sowers. This is the same way with the solid fertilizer spreader as well. So let's buy a seed bag, and we'll buy solid fertilizer in a little bit. So this is going to go in your sowers. Solid fertilizer goes in your sowers, and you can see that right here if it has solid fertilizer. This one, for example, doesn't fertilize. It only takes seeds. This one will take both. If we go to spreaders, this will also take solid fertilizer. I'm not going to show you how to fill those because it's the same way as we'll fill the sowers. Now, the first way you can fill up your equipment with these pallets is to take the pallet to the equipment. So we'll pick it up here, and then once I hover over the equipment, whether it's seed or fertilizer, it will start filling it up. And you can see in the bottom right, it's emptying out. You can see it emptying out. I didn't have to push any buttons. It just automatically does it. And now there's 1,000 seed in that sower. If you don't want to take the pallet to the machine, you can take the machine to the pallet. So let's connect this. Let's buy solid fertilizer just to show that that is the same way. And all you have to do is get close enough. We'll look in the top right for the refill control. It's kind of a larger, unwieldy sower, but there you go. Refill sower. I hit R, and it will automatically empty out the pallet into the sower. There's 1,000 liters in that, so it'll disappear when it's full. And there you go. There are two ways to fill up your machines. There is a third way, so let's look at that now. If we disconnect this, because we don't need it, if we look at tippers in this game, you will notice that the tippers have solid fertilizer down here, seed bags, and pig feed. So you can fill up tippers with these things, take them back to your farm, dump them, use a bucket or a shovel with a front loader, and fill up your sowers that way, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Take note that liquid fertilizer is not down here. It does not work this way. Liquid fertilizer cannot be removed from its tank. So I'm going to show you how to fill up a tipper with pig food, just because then I'll use the pig food later on. But this works the same way with the seed and the fertilizer. So let's buy just one, just to show that. Basically, you'll do the exact same thing I did with the sower, except you'll hover the pallet above the tipper. So we'll bring it over here, and you'll see it'll start filling up. Once it's empty, it'll disappear. And now if I connect the tipper to the tractor, we'll see that it has 999 units of pig food. Pig food, by the way, is just a little bit of each food. So if we go to the animals menu, it'll have a little bit of corn, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and just a little bit of this in the proper ratio. So in a little bit, I will drive this up to our pigs to show you that. But first, I will show you how to refill a sower with seed. So you can see I have a shovel here. I already have a little bit of seed in the shovel, but I'm going to just fill up a little more. So here's my pile that I already brought down here from before I started recording, but this is just a huge pile of seeds, and of course you can do this with a huge pile of fertilizer. But you can see with the big shovel, you can fill up these sowers really quickly because you can move around more than 1,000 units. Now if I go over here before I open it and I dump it, it's just going to fall on the ground. So I'll show that. Maybe it's safeguarding it, but you can see that I can't fill it up this way. So I'm wasting it. What you have to do before you use the bucket to fill this up, get in, and you'll see the open cover. And whether you're doing seed or fertilizer, it's the same way. Go ahead and open it. Then you can use this to dump in the seeds or fertilizer. I did try to use the belts with this, and it did not work. So I wasn't able to use belts. So you do have to use the shovel if you don't want to use pallets. But there I just dump out whatever it can, and when it's full, it should stop if I'm doing it correctly and it's not all going on the ground. So there it stops because it's full. So now I can back it up. And if we look, well, if I can find my tractor, there you go, full of 3,000 seeds. So that was a little quicker than picking up 3 pallets, or I can just drive over to pallets and fill it up. So there's a couple little tricks to use seed and fertilizer. Now let's drive this up and feed our pigs. Alright, so we are at our pigs. We have our pig feed in here. Once we drive next to the trough, the unload button pops up, so I can hit I, and it will unload 1,000 pig food, which is basically just a little tiny bit of each of these. If you want to use the pallet and not empty it into a tipper, you of course can do that. You just lift it up with the fork and hold it over the feeding trough, just like I did with the sowers. So it's the same thing, and that is all there is about pallets. Thank you so much for watching. Don't hesitate to ask questions in the comments below. Leave a like and or dislike, and subscribe if you want to, and of course have yourselves a very nice day.